If you choose the wrong neighborhood on Longboat Key, you may love your house, but you might quietly regret your lifestyle. And that's something no one tells you before you buy. Because here's the truth, Longboat Key may look small on a map, but it does not live small. North feels completely different from the south, and then there is Mid-Key as well. And if you think they're interchangeable, that's where buyers get into trouble. There are buyers who fall in love with a property, the stunning chef kitchen, the resort-style pool, the breathtaking water view, and only later they realize it didn't match who they are. So instead of starting with price, square footage, or how the home looks, let me ask you something far more important. What does your ideal Tuesday feel like? Because your answer and your personality type determines your location. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 types of Longboat Key buyers so you can see exactly which one you are and where you actually belong. Let's get started with our first personality type, the quiet retreat type. Are you someone who wants peacefulness, no traffic, no crowds? You want to hear the birds in the morning and maybe the bay or the ocean breeze before you hear your neighbors? If this is you, you might be the quiet retreat type. North Longboat Key, areas like Long Beach Village and Sleepy Lagoon, they have that old Florida charm with that sense of peacefulness. There are fewer high-rises and there is definitely more privacy. But here's the part buyers underestimate. If you are secretly someone who needs stimulation, dinners out, spontaneous gatherings, movement, then the North can start to feel very quiet. And quiet feels different in February than it does in July here. February, the island is alive. Restaurants are full. There's movement. You can drive 5 or 10 minutes and find energy if you want it. But in July, it is slower. It is hotter. It is more still. And if you're already in the quietest part of the island, that stillness can feel peaceful or it can start to feel isolating. So let me ask you this now. Do you recharge from solitude or from energy? Because if you don't recharge from quiet, if you recharge from people, from movement, from conversation, from being part of something, then the next neighborhood profile may feel much more aligned. Let's talk about the social club-oriented buyer. They want tennis leagues, they want golf and dinners, a calendar that fills itself. Now, if that's you, then South Longboat Key might better align with you. In South Longboat Key, you have the Longboat Key Club with plenty of social activities. There's also resort-style condos, and there is the proximity to St. Armand's Circle. There is more movement and there's more social flow. But here is the surprising part. Some of the most social people, they end up moving to North Key. And why is that? Because they realize they want control over when they engage. They don't want constant proximity to activity. So this isn't about better, it's about tolerance. And if neither quiet retreat nor club lifestyle feels like your priority, then there's another personality type that usually knows exactly what they want. Let's talk about the boater. If you're a boater, this conversation changes completely. You're not just looking at houses. You're analyzing canal width, seawall condition, bridge clearance, turning radius, and water depth. And here's where buyers can make an expensive mistake. Water frontage carries a premium, and canal width directly impacts that value. The wider the canal, the easier the navigation, and typically the higher the price point. 2 homes can look identical online, and one could cost you significantly more depending on the canal. In Longboat Key, communities like Country Club Shores and Emerald Harbor are boating focused for a reason. They have the deepest and the widest canals on the island. But even with those neighborhoods, there are advantages and trade-offs by lot. So let me ask you something specific. Is boating your lifestyle? Or is it something you think you'll maybe do? Because if it's a lifestyle, you must evaluate differently. And if boating isn't your priority, you may not need to pay that premium for the lot. But for many buyers today, lifestyle isn't just about what's behind the house. It's about what's just outside the front door. So let's talk about our next type of buyer, the walkability seeker. Some buyers don't want to get in their car every day, and that's not just a preference, that is part of future planning. If you value walkability to things like Publix, the shops at Bay Isles, the public tennis center, and the library, then maybe Mid-Key neighborhoods can make a real difference for you. In Mid-Longboat Key, every convenience is nearby. You have Bayfront Park, or you have the beach for morning walks. You have CVS and Publix for essentials. You have local nail and wellness services. You have a neighborhood wine and liquor shop and a beautifully designed Goodwill bookstore. You even have Couch Furniture, which is a 4,000 square foot showroom and design center. These are all within close reach. Mid-Key has a very particular balance. It's not as secluded as the North Key. It's not as club-oriented as the South Key. It's the in-between. And for many buyers, that is exactly the appeal. Mid-Key is often the compromise. And then there's the buyer who doesn't fit neatly into one category. They want privacy and proximity. They want boating access. They want walkability. They want quiet mornings and social evenings. Now, this is where clarity becomes essential. Let's talk about the hybrid luxury buyer. Now, inventory that checks all those boxes I just mentioned is limited, and without a clear identity, buyers often overpay for features they don't actually use. Without clarity, you pay for a lifestyle potential, not lifestyle alignment, and that is where the regret creeps in. So before we talk about bedrooms or square footage, I always ask these questions. What surroundings do you want to experience first thing every morning? Do you want complete quiet and mangroves? Do you want boats idling out towards Sarasota Bay? Do you want to see golfers on the fairway? Or do you want to be on a condo balcony overlooking the Gulf? And the next question I ask is, who do you want to see? Do you want to see neighbors walking their dogs? Do you want to see boats pass by your home? Do you want to run into friends at the club? Or do you want to see almost no one unless you choose to? And here's the last question I ask. How often do you leave your house? Do you picture yourself home most days, or are you going to be out and about? Do you want life to come to you, or do you want to go out and meet it? Is your home your retreat, or is it your launching pad? Now, the answers to these questions narrow down Longboat Key very quickly. And if you're not quite sure where you fall yet, I actually created a quick lifestyle tool on my website, lbkcouture.com. Now, this walks you through a few simple questions, and it helps you identify which area of Longboat Key best aligns with your personality. You can find the link in the description below. If you'd like to talk through your specific situation, boating depth, club access, walkability, long-term value, I am happy to be a guide for you personally. You can call or text me directly or reach out through the links in the description below. Let's make sure where you live reflects who you are.